accomplished author, fashion mogul, and the star of MTV's hit reality TV show Run's House, spent his early days DJing for one of rap's earliest stars. Later, he co-founded the group Run DMC. In 1984, Rockbox was the first rap video to be aired on MTV. The collaboration with Aerosmith's Walk This Way was regarded as the first ever rap rock song. In 2009, Run DMC was inducted into the prestigious institution, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The star of MTV's Run's House gave the world a glimpse of the legendary rapper's personal life. As an author, he co-wrote the book Take Back Your Family with his wife Justine, and now the New York Times bestseller Manology, a collaboration with Tyrese Gibson. The man once known as the superstar rapper called Run found a further, deeper calling as he emerged to the world as Rev Run. Sharing his ministry with millions of fans, both old and new, Rev Run continues to touch people worldwide.
We are excited, yeah, put your hands together, we're excited today to have Rev run with us here in the Poconos. And some of you might be wondering, how in the world did this all come together? Well, I've got a great friend in ministry. His name's Herbert Cooper. He's got an amazing church out in Oklahoma City. It's one of the fastest growing, largest churches in America. And he had Rev run with him last year. We were talking on the phone just about life and ministry, and he was telling me about the experience that he had with Rev. And he said, Dave, man, you have to have Rev come to the Poconos and come to your church. So he hooked me up with Rev's agent, and we just kind of hit it off, and Rev agreed. And so he's here, been with us this whole weekend, and we're just excited to have him share his story today. And, you know, as far as the introduction, you heard on the video all the different accolades and the accomplishments that Rev has had in his life. But I would just say this, after spending some time with him and my wife last night and his wife Justine at dinner, and in between our worship experiences back in the green room, I'd say this is a man that really loves God, he loves his wife, loves his family, and he loves the church of Jesus Christ. And so, man, I'm just telling you, he's the real deal. He's legit. I mean, he knows the Word of God. Yeah, he talks about God like, man, like he's my friend. I was just talking to him the other day. I mean, that's how he has got a phenomenal walk with the Lord, and loves the church, and just loves the lost. So we're excited to have him with us today. So would you put your hands together, give a warm Poccono Community Church welcome to Rev!
On a Sunday, rap on a Monday, y'all do what Run say, they get better one day. Yeah. Just because Rev Run got a collar, don't mean I can't make a dollar, y'all holla, hear me?
Rev, come on, welcome Rev to the
Poconos. I love it out here, man.
How are you, man? You enjoy the Poconos?
I'm loving it. I used to come here when I was younger. Oh, why are they still playing the record?
Yeah, man, just play the whole thing. Why don't you rap some more? They'll get that. So what, you used to come here when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, used to come here all the time, and me and my family, back when I was younger, we'd come to the Poconos. They had these cottages that you could rent, and we come from the city, and we wanted to see the deer. We're in nature. We're looking at the deer looking at us.
You got no deer in Queens, do you?
No, they're looking at us like, row. So yeah, it was always good to come out here. So for you to invite me back out here brought back so many memories, and I'm out here looking at the deer again.
That's good.
and then come to preach the gospel and talk about what God's done in my life. So it's been great.
Well, it's really great to have you. We're so glad. We welcome you here to the Poconos and to Poccono Community Church.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit. I mean, I know you're from Queens.
Hollis.
Yeah, come on, give it everybody from Queens. Anybody know about it?
New York is in the house, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They migrated up here.
How does a kid from Queens turn into Run DMC?
Well, you know, back in the day, I was just inspired by my brother. Anybody know Russell Simmons? You know that name, Russell?
Anybody know Russell?
Yeah, Russell. So he used to give parties. He used to give something called Rush or Forsyth college parties. And I was younger, and as a kid, you know, with your older brother, you want to be down. So I would have did anything. He was like giving me boxes of flyers that I would take to Jamaica Avenue in Queens and put up these flyers for him, and, you know, he would pay me, you know, money, and sometimes pay me in weed. I'm just, you know. Can I be real with y'all? Yeah, real. I want to keep it real. So that's what I did as a kid, and as time went on, he was down with a young man named Curtis Blow, and that was a rapper before Run DMC, and I used to just follow Russell around trying to be down, and they let me DJ for Curtis Blow. They was calling me the son of Curtis Blow, DJ Run. They say faster than an exploding bullet out of a gun. They call him Run. So I was DJing for Curtis Blow because Russell let me, and then I broke my wrist. And he picked up another DJ named Davey D during that time. Plus I had to go to school. So I was hanging with my friend Daryl McDaniels, who changed his name to DMC.
Gotcha.
And we created this group. We was calling ourselves at the time like the Fantastic Two. And then when Russell got his hands on us, he was like, oh, I like this, what y'all doing, but you should call yourself Run. And since his name was DMC, Run DMC. And back then that was kind of weird because everybody had, like, you know, Furious 5 or Treacherous 3 or whatever. So it sounded weird to us, but we took the name and I came up with this record called It's Like That. And then D looked Right. And he came up with it. And that's the way it is. Huh. You can never forget the huh. Huh is so important. It's a lyric.
Right.
So he took and shopped that record, him and producer Larry Smith, and it exploded onto the charts. And that's how we became Run DMC. It was just from being inspired by my brother, really.
So he's been a huge influence in your life.
Yeah, Russell's been there the whole way. He made Fat Farm and all these other great ventures. You know, Def Jam, Russell created. So I was inspired by my brother in hip hop.
You've had an amazing career in the music industry.
Blessed.
I mean, yeah, huge. I mean, first rapper ever to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Come on, right? First rapper on American Bandstand, first rapper to have a rap video on MTV, you know, first rapper to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. I mean, you living the dream. Huh?
I just was following the path, you know, something is a gift. I think God gives us a gift, and our job is to unwrap it and give it to the world. And that's what I was doing, just, you know, giving my gift to the world. And I remember being so caught up in it. This is how the collar ended up getting wrapped around my neck. So caught up in it that I was just, my job in my mind was to make sure no other rappers beat me. And that's where Run's House came from. I was kind of crazy, like, this is my house. So the show you're looking at, Run's House, it wasn't really about that back then. It was about me saying that this is my house.
Right.
So as I was creating this career, I was kind of seeking all the things, you know, and my top actually became my bottom. I remember being in Los Angeles, California, and if I could be real with y'all, I told my manager, you know what, get the presidential suite for me before LL gets it, and before the Fat Boy. And my job was, I was pretty crazy, so it was like, get that suite, and remember those girls that was there at the last concert, make sure they in the room. And remember that green Cali weed, make sure that's there too. And just, I've got to keep it real with you, take you through. And that car that was across the street that rented that Rolls Royce, rent that for me. And it was like, well, you know, you got Rolling Stone magazine come and say, send them to the room too. You know, so I get in the room and I get in the tub and I order French toast and the weed is there, so I'm smoking the weed, the ashes is falling in the tub, the syrup from the weed, you know, the syrup from the French toast, and the girls at the door, Rolling Stones at the door, and at that moment I began to cry because I was empty. I realized that everything that I was seeking to fill me was actually emptying me out. And what I found out was you can have things, but don't let things have you. And that was the lesson that I learned. And at that moment, all that I thought was good for me actually was just emptying me out to know that I had something missing. And that was my relationship with Christ. So as time went along, I began to subconsciously kind of push some of these things away, and I started going to church. And when I got to church, there was a great pastor that I went to in New York City, and I remember going to that church, and I was so empty that I didn't know what to do. I went to the Bible store to get a Bible, and they had green Bibles and burgundy Bibles, big Bibles, small Bibles, and I brought the biggest Bible I could find, because I was still in the tense too, like if I'm going to find God, I'm going to find him in this big Bible here. So the Bible was so big, it was the kind of Bible you almost had to get a U-Haul truck to it. So I'm sitting on the front row with this big Bible, you know those big grandma Bibles, you turn it and Jesus is kind of moving, like little reflection Bibles. I had my grandmother Bible sitting up front. And in the black church, you don't get to just go to church. You're doing something. You're going to be in the choir, or you're going to be an usher, or you're doing something. This is just how it is. So I got there, and the pastor let me be an usher. So I remember being an usher at the church, and a grandmother had brought her grandson in, and she was trying to get him away from rap and all the craziness. And he walks in, and he looks at grandma like, you sure this is church? And the guy that's ushering us, he's like, that ain't no Ron DMC. Look at the pastor. Put your mind on Jesus. And he's like, I remember him sitting in the row, and I'm in the back of the church, and every time he would turn around to say, I think that's Run, she'd slap him upside the head. Look at the pulpit. You know, screaming at him. And she got caught up in the spirit playing the tambourine and everything, and he looked one more time, and I was like, that's me, Ron Dan. So, you know, and as that went on, I was so proud to be an usher that the pastor, he made me a walking deacon. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'm happy to be it. So I start calling Russell and all the rappers I knew, yo, Snoop. Man, I'm a walking deacon. They looking at me like Scooby-Doo, like, roll. What's a walking deacon? And then when I found out that a walking deacon ain't nothing but an usher with another name. But I was happy to be one. I was like, yeah, man, I'm a walking deacon, bro. You ain't heard? I'm Run the Walking Deacon. And then finally I made my way up to be a deacon. And I was like, this is going great. And then I did my trial sermon, and I got this thing wrapped around my neck. And the next thing you know, I'm trying to explain to people on the carpets with D and J that I'm a reverend. They thought I was going to like a Halloween concert. Like, what is this collar thing? And then as time went on, I did a couple of things that people didn't understand. And then Run's house came. And when